Well, hello, welcome. I'm Wendy Rose Williams, and I am a past life energy healer, and I help people release chronic pain, both physical and emotional, anxiety and depression, as well as stuck energy and just feeling like you cannot get out of second gear. What a difference when we're able to release this energy that no longer serves us. We can just feel so much happier, healthier, that our life has a beautiful purpose, and that we're able to attract those resources to live our purpose in wonderful ways. So, I wanted to talk with you today regarding my podcast. I co host the Waking Up Spiritually podcast with Gregg Kirk, and we've been doing so for over 4 years now. So I'm going to link the archives to the podcast, and you are able to put into the search button whatever you need help with, whether it's energy management, guides, past lives, whatever the topic might be in the field of metaphysics, energy, past life energy healing, reincarnation, etc. You're very likely to find a podcast there. And if you don't find one on the area that you need help with, please send me a note. You can reach me via my website, wendyrosewilliams.com. There's a contact me tab on it, and you can just send me a note and say, hey, here's what's going on. I think this would be a great podcast topic, because if you've got the question and you've got the need, other people likely do too. We typically podcast live on our YouTube channel for Waking Up Spiritually the second Monday of the month at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, and everything else in between, depending on your local time zone. And Greg and I normally podcast with just the two of us. We're bringing forth guides from the angels and from our wonderful spirit guides, etc. But sometimes we have marvelous guests, and we're getting ready to have more guests than normal. So I just wanted to make you aware of some of the upcoming guests. In September, we're going to have Sharon Sananda Kumara is going to share her very powerful near-death experience story with us, and what she experienced with Jesus as a result. And it's really moving. It's really touching. Sharon is a wonderful friend of mine. I've heard the story multiple times, and there's always just more layers and more depth to it, as there is with many near-death experiences. So in September, Sharon will be joining us. You're welcome to join our Facebook group, which is Waking Up Spiritually. I will link that too. And in there, you will see the recordings from the podcast if it's not a convenient time to join us live. You also can get the Waking Up Spiritually podcast via our YouTube channel, as I mentioned, and through the podcast apps. So if you like to listen to your podcasts on Apple iTunes or Spotify or wherever you like to listen to, you can find us there too. And we so appreciate your reviews, your comments, your shares. That's just so wonderful, and it helps other people find the podcast, so that Greg and I are able to help more people with their spiritual awakening process. He and I both had very profound ones that went on for many years. And waking up spiritually, yes, it can be wonderful. It can be fantastic. It also can be discombobulating. You can feel like you just had your knees, your legs just knocked right out under you, and like, what's happening? And it can feel very rapid, very confusing. It can feel scary. It can feel isolating, because friends and family can really fall away when we go through such a rapid change in our belief system. So that's what our intent is with the Waking Up Spiritually podcast, is to help with that awakening process, and then ongoing questions you may have along the way. So Sharon in September, and then Greg and I will podcast, just the two of us, in October, and in November. And then in December, we're going to have a wonderful return guest. One of our most popular guests and speakers is Debbie Buss from the United Kingdom, from the UK. She's in England, and she is a wonderful astrologer, as well as numerologist, human design practitioner, and other things. And she's going to give us a look forward. We'll do it in December, and it'll be a look forward through 2025 from the astrology and the numerology perspective. So looking forward to that conversation. And then in February, we're going to have the incredible force of nature known as Julie Ryan. And Julie will be joining us, and she will be talking about the different stages of dying, because so many people have so much fear around the topic, particularly in the United States. It's a culture that doesn't particularly deal very well with death and dying. So she's going to help walk people through, how do you support a loved one through this process? How do you deal with the emotions of a loved one passing on? Or perhaps you yourself are going through the stages of that and would just love some support. Julie Ryan is very quite a varied background, and I'm looking forward to that conversation. She's been a solopreneur and started businesses in many areas. She's got some fascinating patents out there in different areas, inventions that she made in the medical field without having a medical background herself in this lifetime. And that's the kicker, of course, because of course she's done that before. So looking forward to speaking with Julie in February. And then in April, we have the privilege of bringing Dave Sanderson on with us. Now, who remembers the miracle on the Hudson? It's been about 15 years now, but that was an incredible um, major commercial airline flight emergency landing on the Hudson River in New York. So Dave was the last passenger off that plane because he purposefully stayed back and was helping other passengers get off. So he just felt a calling to do that. And I cannot imagine what that experience is like, which is why I'm so looking forward to talking with him, because that plane was absolutely sinking as he was helping people get off. So that's some of the things coming up on the Waking Up Spiritually podcast. So invite you to join us in our Facebook group and check out the podcast. So again, thank you so much for being here, and see you next time. Bye for now.